Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the panel about the world's greatest game and the greatest format. You know what it's called. We're all gonna say it together so the main event competitors can hear it on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Twin Sons! Great job, everybody. This panel's off to a great start. I'm David, or DHaus. I am on the YouTube channel Unplayable, and I'm here with my lovely panel here. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Who are you? Why are you here? And why do you love Twin Sons?
I'm Joe O'Neill. I am one of the Star Wars Unlimited designers and developers. I love Twin Sons because I made it and I'm very proud of it. It's fantastic. I also say it's definitely a giant team effort. I was a small cog in that machine. There's a lot of people.
No, it was all Joe, for sure.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm from a channel called Golden Dice Podcast. Twin Sons is my favorite because it's the most fun format. We just said it. It's the best around. You can do whatever you want. Twin Sons.
I'm AJ. I'm from the Salty Smugglers on YouTube. We're a family-friendly YouTube channel all about our favorite format, Twin Sons. And we produce content for that. Twin Sons is great because it's a casual time. It's a group of people. It's a community building format, in my opinion. And that's why we love it and just dove so deeply into it.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna dive into some questions, and it's gonna make some assumption that you have some experience in Twin Sons. There might be some tidbits in here for people who've never played Twin Sons. But let's dive in. Let's talk about, how do you specifically approach deck building in Twin Sons? Like, it's gotta be thematic, it's gotta be, the sweatiest, try-hard competitive thing. Like, I want it to be chaotic. How do you approach deck building? I'll answer once you guys are done.
Yeah, for me personally, I always try to maximize the fun in the format first, so that can be a theme thing. The Twin Sons deck I built for this weekend is Kylo from Shadows of the Galaxy and Kylo from Legends of the Force.
So good. So we at home, we call that the lawyer format, like the Kylo and Kylo, like the billboard, like Smith and Smith, like, yeah, Kylo and Kylo.
So yeah, no, sometimes it's theme, and then other times it's just like, what is gonna cause the most chaos at the table? What is gonna be fun? How do I paint the giant target on my back and then get sad when I lose?
Happens all the time. I think you have to decide when you start building this. Is it form over function? Do we want to go theme? Do we want to do, is it going to be good or not? If it's not chaotic, you're not doing it correctly, right? But I like to focus on one specific thing in that deck building part, whether that's a specific card, a specific thing like the Force or piloting, and then it just kind of snowballs from there.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit of the same way. I think I start with a theme, either cinematically, thematically, and then I realized early on, I have 4 kids, and 3 of my kids all play Star Wars Unlimited with me, and so I have my own pod at home that I get to play test with, and it's great. And so I'll build a deck on theme, and then play with them, and then realize I do need to be a bit more competitive with it because I get trounced by my 12-year-old, and I can't have that happen. So as I approach deck building, I usually start with theme, and then I start with one thing that I'm trying to do with the leader combination, and then and build around that.
Yeah. I think it depends on the day.
Yeah.
I feel like I do like theme decks. I like double Jabba, like thematic, and put it all in Jabba sleeves and a Jabba mat, and have like 1,000 Jabbas on the table. But I think I do start with what's the weirdest thing I can do that you can't do in Premiere? Because you don't have 2 leaders. So like one of my decks I love is Thrawn Nala Se, like Thrawn from Jump to Lightspeed. So that when you flip Nala Se and you just throw your clones at people, they have when defeated heal 2 from your base, and then Thrawn JTL doubles that. So every time you throw a clone into somebody, you heal 4 from your base, and you just literally treat your clones like torpedoes, and it's a ton of fun. And you can't do that in Premiere, so
You have Sifo Dyas in that deck?
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, I love that card with that Thrawn. It's so
Yes. It's like anytime they release a new clone in any set, or like the new 5s from the Twin Sons precons, which by the way, that card is nuts. It gets the when played effect of any card on the table. You can do some really weird stuff with that. But I love that. It's just it's super fun. I also like to build, like I'll read cards in the binder and say anything that says each opponent, because it's like, ooh, one of you guys designed this with Twin Suns in mind, and I want to do something with that card now.
There are so many times when we're going through cards in like one of our meetings and like trying to hit every card in a set, make sure it's being reviewed, and someone always just like put each on that card.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a Twin Suns game where you have to like stop and reread the card that says each?
Yeah.
Like that's like K2SO from Spark Rebellion.
Oh yeah.
Devastator from Jump to Lightspeed.
Yeah, that's another. Yes.
The Yoda from Spark Rebellion is the best bargaining chip.
Oh gosh.
Give everyone a card but one player.
Yeah. For some reason, I never get chosen to draw that card. I don't know why. Okay. Obviously, Twin Suns sparks a lot of creativity. It's definitely like a deck builder's dream for the most part. We'll get into that later. But tell me about one of your favorite Twin Suns decks. Why, at any point, why was it your favorite? What about it made it fun for you?
Ooh. So very, very early testing. The first Twin Suns deck, as we were building the format that I built, that I fell in love with, was Spark of Rebellion, Chirrut Imwe, and Spark of Rebellion, Hera Syndulla, only because she could put experience tokens. So in the more modern format, I would have replaced that with someone like the Leia Organa from Secrets of Power. But to build up a giant Chirrut with so many lightsabers and seeing the whole table like unite to take you down is the most satisfying feeling. I do not care if I win or lose that game. I won if I get 2 or more lightsabers on the Chirrut.
I personally liked the Darth Vader pilot from Jump to Lightspeed paired with the Arinda Price from Secrets of Power, and it's just tokens and tokens and tokens and tokens. You can put like scramble fighters in there. You put all kinds of, and now it's even better because the Mandalorian tokens generations is happening. So it would be vigilance, aggression, and command. But now I also want to test that out with the Emperor Palpatine leader from Ashes. Because all the advantage tokens on the TIE fighters is endless.
I played against that deck yesterday. It is disgusting.
Oh, that sounds awesome. My pet project has been Han 1, Han from Set 1, Spark of Rebellion, and Hunter. Because every time somebody sees Hunter, they have to read the card because they don't realize that you have to play the same named unit to activate Hunter. And I thought I was being really clever with that, and I was like, "Oh, this is the one that people have to read." I'm such a special unicorn in that aspect. And really, all it is I just flip Hunter on 5 resources and have a 5/8 overwhelm, and then I become a problem, and people kill me, and then I cry to say that people are bullying the Hunter deck.
Yeah, this question is hard to answer because I have a lot of decks I've really enjoyed, but. Han 1 Lando, or Han from Spark Rebellion and Lando from Jump to Lightspeed. I think Han from Spark Rebellion is really fun in Twin Suns because it allows you to get out your 7 deploy leaders more effectively. And that's just a fun deck where you're just dropping so many shields on stuff. And so you can double shield your droid laser turrets when they drop, or you can flip Lando into space as a Sentinel, or you can put a 5/7 Sentinel on the 5 resource turn on the ground, and you get to run every Millennium Falcon in the deck, which is like, I mean, come on, that's just fun.
You can do that in Hunter as well.
It's good. Okay, so there may be some people out here who have never built a Twin Suns deck, and they came here hoping that they can figure out how. It might be their barrier. I actually heard someone say that one of the hardest things of getting into Twin Suns is just starting to build a deck. It's a little, we have 8 sets, there's a bajillion cards. Any quick tips or advice for someone who has never built a deck, but they're like, yeah, I should get into this?
For me, Twin Suns is one of the easier formats to build a deck for because I don't put too much thought into it and just have some fun. It is the format where like it is self-balancing the most amongst the table. Put in your favorite cards, just whatever cards you are having fun with at the time. That is what's going to make the best game for you in Twin Suns. So some people really like min-maxing those decks, and I think that's a fantastic way to play the game. but also don't overthink it too much. Just like, hey, I like this leader in Premiere, throw in your other favorite leader and then go have some fun with your friends. That is going to work, I promise you.
Who knew we had 8 sets? I know someone here knew we didn't have 8 sets. So yeah, I think the Twin Suns now is now that we have 8 sets, is really difficult to build for, right? You have a little bit of a choice paralysis going on. But you know, it's fun, and it's what you make of it too. I mean, the community is the biggest part, right? And I'm gonna talk about I'm sure we'll talk about the pre-constructed decks a ton today, but the pre-constructed decks are now an excellent option if you wanted to get into it and just see how you wanted to change things from what comes in the box, right? You can make those changes however you want, and I mean, they're excellent out the box though. They're on par with most, if not all, of the decks I've built. Maybe better than the decks I've built actually. So.
Yeah, we'll talk about the pre-con decks because they're rad. But I always build off of Joe's point. Pick 2 leaders that you think would be really fun to pair against each other or pair with each other. Pick cards that you just normally wouldn't see interacting with each other in Premiere. I find a lot of people tend, like, their first Twin Suns deck is like Dooku Grievous or Dooku New Gunray or something, because exploit is just such a cool mechanic, and thematically separatists, right? So yeah, build on theme and just go from there. And I think the biggest thing is just to start the building process. And then once you get to the table, then you can, see what other people are playing, and you can get more ideas and, build more inspiration on what to build next.
Building off of that though, there are a lot of legendaries that people typically don't use in Premiere. Give those another look. Does anyone know what Planetary Invasion does? I don't. But you could use it in your Twin Suns deck, and it might be a lot of fun. Who knows?
It is a lot of fun.
So I have a Twin Suns group at my work. On Thursdays over lunch, we play every Thursday. It's awesome. And we have a community box of cards, because a lot of these guys don't normally play Star Wars Unlimited, and so we just have this box of cards where they can come, and they always have that first fear of I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm like, that's the beauty of Twin Suns. Just make sure you have some cards in each resource, and put 80 cards together, and you might win because you're not going to be a threat, and so everyone will kill each other, and then
No, whatever you can spend all the time in the world deck building and making plans, but I promise you those plans will not happen. It's always going to be a different chaotic game, and that's takes a big load off.
Yep. Especially when you play your closest friends, like maybe on your own YouTube channel, and they pick on you. just saying. Okay, well, you mentioned the pre-cons. Do you guys enjoy the Twin Suns pre-cons that they released? So good. All right, you guys already referenced it a little bit. So Joe, you were on ground floor designing Twin Suns and designed the Maul Savage Blood Brothers deck. So talk to us a little bit. Let's start first with just Twin Suns in general, as a concept, and then let's get into designing an actual deck. So where did how did you guys get in a room and say, yes, this is how it's going to be, and we're going to have 2 leaders, and we're going to have single, all the things. Give us some stories.
Yeah, so it was the very first project we were assigned to after getting the job. So there was that kind of medium guard of myself, MJ Cutts, Ryan Serrano, and John Leo, who all got hired around the same time. And we weren't assigned to Premiere sets yet, but we knew we wanted to fill out this format. So that became our first thing, was to kind of build this new game mode, figure out how to make it work within the Star Wars Unlimited action-by-action system. And Danny Schaefer gave us a few pointers up front. And the biggest one, and I think this is what makes the game so good, is Danny insisted, please let the game end after one player is eliminated. And however we want to make that happen, do it. So to make that really high tension at the end of a game of oh, he's only got 2 damage left on his base, but if I take him out, then she's going to take me out. And to get that kind of standoff feeling was our biggest goal. And I'm very, very happy that stuck. Otherwise, just building what different tokens can we use. The Blast and Plan had a bunch of different variations that we went through before landing on those. And deciding to go with 2 leaders to get you more aspects. As when the set 1 first released, Spark of Rebellion, it was very hard to build a Twin Suns deck. We were realizing, so we're like, you need the aspects and you need a smaller deck size. That's not an issue anymore. Maybe people who are new to the game didn't know, but originally Twin Suns format was 50 cards, and then we expanded it to 80 cards after the release of Jump to Lightspeed. But yeah, we also knew we wanted it to be a singleton format, just one copy of every card, because that leads to the more dynamic, more varied, fun games, and this is a fun first format. So,
Yeah, I love the singleton idea because I feel like if I sit down and I've played this game before, like I've done this, I've gone through these hoops, I can get bored easily. But it's like I can build some decks. I'm like I never saw that card. I still haven't seen that card in my own deck, and there's no the combination of players. So I think that was really interesting. All right, tell us about the process of designing precons. Was that always in like the part of the plans, or was it like, hey, people seem to enjoy Twin Suns, and then how did you end up with your deck, and where did the concept come from, and how'd you pick the leaders and all that?
yeah, it wasn't a plan from day one, but as the format came out and people really attached to it, and it was something we had always talked about, we were like, this is a good idea. We do want to make this happen. I don't remember who pitched the Clone Wars theme of the first 4 sets. That one wasn't me, but we'll
still give you credit, though.
Oh, sounds good. I do want to give a lot of credit to, well, one, the same group that made the format with me, MJ Cutts, Ryan Serrano, and John Leo. We all took one of those precons in the first set. Ryan Serrano was on the Dooku Asajj, MJ Cutts was on Padme Anakin, and John Leo was on Rex Ahsoka. And we all really injected our playstyle into that. John just loves playing events and slinging those cards out, and the Rex Ahsoka deck is so good at that in an interesting way. I talked about my Churret making a big beatdown kind of deck, and that's just exactly what I wanted the Maul and Savage decks to do. And then as we set up that initial skeleton, MJ really executed on creating all the connective tissue between the decks. So like which commons are shared between, how can we kind of thematically tie one card that like connects Dooku and Rex. Like there's some shared cards between those decks, but what makes sense even. And it's a really cool process to see how they nailed that.
So you obviously ended up on Maul and Savage, which you like. There's just a cool factor to like a couple of these Dathomirian,
they're just
beat sticks. Yeah,
huge guys, and the showcases have them with their arms crossed, and I love it.
It's so good. Yeah.
And yeah, that one I just wanted a very simple deck, and calling out keywords was a way to give a lot of life to old cards that are maybe strong, like the Shin Hati unit from Legends of the Force. Also has 2 keywords, and now it's extra strong in this deck. But also there's some random commons that you've probably forgotten about that just happen to have 2 keywords because it was nice for the draft environment. Well, now Maul can use those in a really interesting way and keep making them bigger, 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 bigger. And that's my favorite way to play. So,
Hey, AJ, Brian, is there one of the precons that like calls to your soul and you just go, when I played this, it felt like me?
Oh, aggressive negotiations, 110%. That's the only precon I brought with me. I've played it pretty regularly. I've played all of them at this point, but that one is just so fun.
What do you love about it?
So the new additions are really cool. The R2D2 unit is incredible. That turn 1 R2D2 that I actually ended up losing a game yesterday or the day before because I started out with R2, did 2 damage to my base, ended up going into turn 3 with like 5 or 6 damage on my base already at 27 health total, so that wasn't great. But like the cards in general, bringing back a little bit coordinate, bringing back the clone tokens, all that good stuff. I mean, the Clone Wars is really like my favorite era of Star Wars. So seeing that they were all Clone Wars, I mean, they're all winners. to me, but that one's my favorite for sure.
Yeah, Master and Apprentice was the one that I was early on. I love Dooku. I just think he's just such a cool leader. And then just the design around it of I'm going to heal my base for one, I'm going to heal somebody else's base for one, and we're both going to get battle droids and be buddies, right? Staring right at you, Rylo Van. And it just, that leader just speaks to me. And then all of the politicking that you can do in that deck with the different cards that allow for different table interactions to happen really set up the game to be a memorable one that you can tell stories with your friends out. And that's the important part for me and Twin Suns is like, we can tell stories about this later.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime I see Rex from the precons at the table, it just, I have a little like low grade anxiety of like, how is this gonna affect me and hurt me? Because somehow I feel like he's not gonna ready my units. I don't know why. Okay, let's change the subject a little bit. Let's talk pod etiquette, everybody. First question is there Twin Suns pod etiquette? Is that even a thing? Because I've had some good discussions with my friends about this. But are there any hidden rules you think about sitting down and playing Twin Suns with a group that aren't, they're not written in stone somewhere, but deep down in your soul you think, yeah, this is how the game should be played?
It, of course, depends on the pod you're with. Like, if I'm playing a game with John Leo, he and I are going to trash talk each other so much. But if I go sit down and play it with all of you guys, I'm not going to interact in that same way. So it does depend how familiar you are with everyone. But a rule that I have for myself that I really, really like, when choosing who to attack on base, just always try to even out the base health. So if one person has a ton of health left, go for them. And then when they get brought down to everyone's level, pick a different target. And that way it doesn't feel like anyone has the target on their back for too long. It does make the game more interesting come the end when anyone could be the winner because we're all so close to being defeated. So that's generally how I like to approach etiquette in that sense. But I'm curious what other rules you guys have.
I mean, yeah, this format employs the best parts of the prequels, which is the politics. We all really loved the politics of the prequels. No, just kidding. I think that at the end of the day, the important part about this is that it's fun, right? If you are not having fun, what's the point? But adding a little chaos in, everyone has played a game with someone who pulls out a deck that is like, oh no, right? But the important thing to remember is to have fun, right? And your mileage may vary with certain groups, but finding the right group is really important, and being fun, fair, and kind to everyone is really important.
Yeah, I definitely resonate with both of those responses. Definitely a big fan of hitting the player with the most health at that given time, depending on the board state, right?
Never do the math.
Never do the math, okay. But I think it does vary by pod, right? I think ganging up on one person again, unless they are the problem or they are DHaus, I think is probably bad etiquette. But I resonate with both of those responses.
Yeah. I did find I mentioned the group I work with on Thursdays. Like there's like a collective group memory that happens from like week to week, where it could be like a brand new game, but I still remember that you hit me to blow up my base last game, so now I'm gonna I'm gonna attack your base first, and it creates almost like an insular meta of like when you play with the same guys over and over versus sitting down with like 3 random strangers and be like, hey, let's play Twin Suns. It always adds this like new layer, like it's like a game within a game that I think is really fascinating.
No, I love that. And like, it's so much fun to me, Twin Suns, the moment someone attacks me, I'm like, you are my target.
Yep.
Oh, you flip Vader onto a clone combat squadron and hit me for 12? I know where the rest of my damage is going this turn.
Yep.
Yeah, you're playing Satine and Rey. You're gonna get got. I'm sorry.
Yep. AJ, you have done some creative stuff in creating like Twin Suns League format. Where did that come from? And does it add to your joy of Twin Suns? Like you and maybe explain some of the things you've done for people who don't know what you've done, because I think it is really interesting.
Yeah, so we run a league on our channel. We're in season 2 right now. We did a season 1 back in the fall, and what it is that it's a 12-part episodes, 12 episodes of games, where our pod that we all play together constantly. We join in and we play the league. The league has rules outside of the game, so you get a certain amount of points for getting first place in a game, second, third, and being eliminated. There's also different achievements that you can get. If you never take the initiative, you get a point. If you are the first person to defeat an enemy unit, you get a point. Another one is if you were to break a deal and you have to verbally say with somebody, this is a deal, I will not do this and you will not do this, you lose a point if you break that deal. So we put different stipulations outside of the game to help us keep track. And what we found is it really creates kind of a lore for our play group. And it just it expands the game and launches it even bigger than what we do. We also do theme decks. Excuse me. We do themes to each episode, so we'll do something like buddies, where you have to build a deck with 2 leaders that are thematically buddies. So this past season, in season 2, I did Ahsoka and Grogu. And I had a blast. I won that one. Or like monocolor. And what we found is that it really opens up the creative possibilities. It also makes it so that like every single game doesn't feel like an isolated incident where like this person won, this person lost. You can compile those points throughout the season. You can get second place every single game and still possibly win the season. And so it really takes it from a casual point. It adds a little bit of competition, but it takes it from a casual point and just expands on that. It's really fun.
Yeah, I think I think especially when you're playing with the same group week after week, like adding those elements, so it's not just about who wins. I think it's just a creative. I like that creative touch. Have you guys? I'm putting you on the spot, Brian and Joe. But have you done any like just kitchen table rules, or like have you added any layer to your games just to mix things up or change things?
I can take that first. So when the pre-cons came out, we decided to run the same ones into each other, and now we have a light rule that if you draw Galactic Escalation, which is a card that everyone should put in their deck, by the way, if you're running Command, Galactic Escalation, everyone resources from the top card of their deck, you play it. We actually did the second game where we searched for it in our opening hand and just played it and started at 5, which is wild. But
That's good. You see Galactic Escalation, you play it. Yep.
I do like that one a lot. For me, it's a little difficult because the rules that we wanted to twist or like have fun as like a temporary rule were just the things we were considering when making the format. Yeah. The blast token was a big one where it used to be a heal token, and games ended up going like twice as long as they do now. Oh, yeah. But sometimes you want a long game. Go ahead, replace the blast token with a heal token if you want. Just do whatever you want with the format. That's what it's made for.
Yep, that's good. Okay, I was preparing to come here, and I was building a new Twin Suns deck, my 12th Twin Suns deck, and I have a problem. But I hit a moment where I ran out of a common card, and I was texting the guys. I was like, whoa, this is really weird. I ran out of droid laser turrets. And Mike, who's sitting right in front, he's like, stop building blue Twin Suns decks. And I realized in that moment, I was like, oh, I do put blue in every single Twin Suns deck. Like, it's like the first color I reach for. And I didn't realize it until he said that, and I ran out of a common card in my collection. Do you guys have any color that you're always reaching? Do you also reach for blue because of Sentinel and healing, or is there another color that you're like, I just really enjoy this?
I wonder if this question can be answered with look at our hats.
I didn't even notice that. That's really good.
No, I built 4, not all Twin Suns, but 4 decks for this weekend, and all of them are cunning in some regard. I just love being crafty and sneaky and being able to do some like surprise changes to the math, whether it's a event like Surprise Strike or exhausting a unit that now all of a sudden they can't defeat your base this turn. It's just so much fun for me.
I typically don't play Cunning often. And I know I'm going to contradict myself, and there's going to be a question about what card do you think is this? And I'm going to say it's a Cunning card. I'm going to look a little silly, but I think that the Vigilance offers a ton of variability. I always stick the named aspect legendaries from Spark in all of my decks, and I usually get funny looks for that, and I usually get targeted for that. But I think that specifically Vigilance is what I gravitate towards.
You used Vigilance and Aggression on me.
I did.
In our game 2 days ago.
Specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. And I had a lot of fun doing it.
I had a lot of fun watching it. I thought it was great. Yeah, Vigilance, absolutely. I'm a Vigilance player. Vigilance Villainy is my favorite color combo because I'm just a filthy control player.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it. You guys don't have to say it. Got some booze out there. Yeah, Vigilance is just so powerful in Twin Suns. In a game where you need to defend yourself and retain your health against 3 other people, having Sentinels and Restore is very powerful. Cunning is also a color that I really, really enjoy because you can Saboteur and get around that. And then as well as all the other shenanigans that Cunning is known for.
Just remove it.
Just
remove it.
Exactly. If it's giving you problems, fell the dragon, you know?
So good. Okay, so I'm going to ask you about specific decks. And so we're going to do 2 different types. I want to know what's the sweatiest, most try-hard Twin Suns deck you've ever seen, like the deck that either you built or someone built that you're like, dude, there's no world championship for Twin Suns. Why did you build that thing? And that's insane. Like, what is that deck that you've seen?
I have such a clear answer for this. This was on our stream a month or so ago, but Aaron Miles built a deck using the Anakin leader from the Precons and Grogu leader from Ashes.
Oh, yeah.
With Droid Manufactory.
Yeah.
Good.
So
That game was insane.
It's so good.
The ending on that was fantastic. Like, no one saw that ending coming too, but we.
Can you share what happened? I thought it was
Yeah.
the last play was amazing.
So, first, how that deck works overall is Anakin gives shields if you've had 2 or more units enter play. The Grogu unit will enter play and create 2 droid tokens every single time you play a unique unit that costs 4 or more. So you just constantly play unique units, fill the board with droids, and then you're able to give shields to anything, including putting the same shield over and over on the Mandalorian unit from Ashes of the Empire, from Ashes of the Empire. So we had this crazy board state where there's like 10 droids out. Everyone's trying to play their Luke Skywalker legendaries from Ashes, clear the board, and then they just all fill back up. It got to the point where Aaron was stalling for time and just attacking with a single droid at a time, attacking with Grogu for 0 damage, and then used his last 2 resources to do a sneak attack with the Kino Loy unit from Secrets of Power. And I can't remember how much it swung for, but it was just
It was a lot.
Yeah,
was
this
ridiculous. Giant
swing to come back from behind when there were no ready units in play, and everyone's like, well, I guess we're going to reach another round. No.
It did make me go, why don't I have Sneak Attack Kino Loy in every like Cunning command deck I have? Because that was amazing.
Put Sneak Attack in every deck. I love that card
Yes,
so much.
yes.
And I miss that card a lot in Premiere, but hey, that's what Twin Suns is great for, so.
I played Triple Dark Ray the other day, and it felt a little like I was cheating. Like, I was like, I'm playing this card. I'm sorry. Yeah.
My Eternal deck this weekend is Triple Dark Raid.
Of
It
course.
feels good to be back.
Yep.
There's someone in my local community who played, I want to say it was Chancellor Palpatine from Twilight of the Republic and Yoda from Twilight of the Republic. I don't remember the base it was. I was both appalled and really impressed by this deck because it takes a big brain player to build with every aspect. Well, not every aspect, but close to it. And that ability on Palpatine isn't each. So everyone's getting hit.
This is the Palpatine that doesn't deploy. It's the one that
it's
just
the
flips back and forth.
The flip one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back to I don't know if it's necessarily a sweaty deck, but it's just a deck that has a lot of potential to hurt everyone, or at least one person. But anything Saw Gerrera, anything with Spark of Rebellion Leia, I immediately look at that person and say, "You're the problem. We need to deal with that because that's going to do a ton of damage to the whole table." So yeah, Saw Gerrera and Thrawn is also a combo to look out for. And then obviously the one that I hate the most is Race a Team because there's just infinite restore, and they will sit there and try to bargain with you and say, "Oh, I'm at 15 health and everybody's at 20," and then you just restore 7 on your flip turn. Like,
Yeah.
you got to remind everybody.
Yep. Well, I've got a guy at work who plays the Thrawn jump to light speed with Saw Gerrera from Lawless Time, and that flip turn is so powerful. Like that 6 deploy. I'm like, if he flips and he's still alive, he is absolutely winning because he can just push so much damage and go over all the Sentinels, and yeah, that's real good. I have to say though, Mike Rudin here in the front row created the sweatiest Twin Suns deck I've ever seen. He played Han from Spark Rebellion with the new Luke from Ashes of the Empire. And
Gross.
we played the other day. This man restored like 40 damage on, and I'm not that's not an exaggeration, like it was about 40 because Han got that Luke out on resource 5, and every time a unit attacked, everybody basically had restore 2 from his base. And oh yeah, and he played the Mon Mothma unit on the 7 resource that came in, had restore 3. So he had, basically the dogfight ability on 3 units. So then he restored 6 by playing Mon Mothma. And I'm just saying, if you pot up with Mike Rudin and he plays that deck, please kill him. That was too much. That was too much. Okay, on the flip side of the like sweaty competitive, what's the like craziest, wackiest, chaotic, goofy deck that either you've built or someone built? You're like, that is so creative. That really, that brings out the fun in Twin Suns.
I'm debating between 2 different ones. One is Kylo from Shadows with Wat Tambor from Twilight Republic. You can get +4/+2 on a turn for 0 resources, which is really fun, but then it immediately puts a target on your back and then you lose. So I had a lot of fun with that combo, but maybe the most fun I've had, and it doesn't sound like that crazy, is Akbar from Jump to Light Speed and the Lando from Jump to Light Speed. You can pretty much always have space units in play, making your own X-Wings. Handing out X-Wings like candy and exhausting everything is a lot of fun. And then shields and sentinels are so important with the Lando. I happened to play one game with that deck against 3 other Akbars. We had 12 X-Wings at the table, and I used Clear the Field and got rid of all of them except my own for 2 resources, and I am never going to beat that. I am chasing that high for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I like to use Finn from Shadows as often as I could and in any combination that I could. And I think it's time to dust that showcase off because advantage tokens are, they're given out like candy. And so I can kind of, if they're going to be defeated pretty quick, the shields won't, So I think it's time to revisit.
That Finn is amazing with the Poe from Jump to Light Speed. Yep.
Yeah.
Great combo.
Yeah, you definitely stole mine. We were actually playing with the Hollow Table Yummy Network guys last night in the food court, and Joey was playing the Grief Karga Finn, and I was on a sweaty deck of New Ashes Cad Bane and Orasing.
Boo.
And so I immediately felt threatened and had to deal with all of the shields, right? I'm not a bully for thinking that, right? I'm looking for validation here.
You have to find it somewhere else, yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm the problem. Yeah, that was a crazy experience. It's a good deck. It's really cool.
All right, coming to this event, I was really excited to build a new Ashes-based Twin Suns deck, and I brought the new Grand Admiral Sloane with Kira from Shadows of the Galaxy. So Sloane, as soon as Sloane was spoiled, I know exactly, that's the first Twin Suns deck I'm building, because if you don't know, she exhausts to give every ground unit Sentinel and Overwhelm, or every space unit Sentinel and Overwhelm, and it's everything at the table. So playing the deck has been really fun, because it's like, you know what, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to give every unit on the board Sentinel and see what what comes of it. It just feels...
It's just a chaos button.
Yes, because one of my favorite Twin Suns cards is In the Heat of Battle, which says every unit on the table, it's 2-cost vigilance card, gives every unit Sentinel and loses Saboteur. So you can't even like sneak damage through, but it's like In the Heat of Battle. And then when she flips on 5 into a 4/5 with Overwhelm, she gives her own units Sentinel, all of her units Sentinel, and you can just create like this brick wall of like shielded Sentinels because Kira is shielding them all, and then if they start taking damage, then you can flip Kira and do some chaotic stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay, we have just a couple more minutes. Let's talk about your. Give me 3. Maybe this is our final question. Give me your 3 favorite Twin Suns cards that some people out here should be trying.
The earliest testing, we had flagged Redemption from Spark of Rebellion as the best Twin Suns card in the first set. Just being able to heal 8 damage at the end game if you get to enough resources is such a swing in the math, and a lot of people just do not account for it. So I love that card in Twin Suns. Death Star Plans is another good chaos button. You just throw it out and let the table fight over it, and it's more fun than it is a winning play, but oh my god, is it fun. And then I've always liked the Cassian unit from Shadows of the Galaxy, because in a singleton format, resourcing is really hard, and then he can just sneak out at the end of the game and get 3 more damage in, and that might be the difference maker. So yeah.
Y'all remember when I said I was going to look a little silly when I'm going to mention a cunning card right now? I'm going to say Spark of Rebellion Millennium Falcon is excellent. The same reasons the Cassian is. That could be the closer at the end that no one sees coming, or they might see it coming. I've also talked about Galactic Escalation, I think is excellent. Any kind of ramp card for the table is really fun. And then lastly, I'm gonna cheat and say the Aspect Vigilance, Cunning, Aggression, Command cards are all excellent adds. I know that's 4, but I count them as 1. So
It's one package.
it's one package. Yeah, it's all the same thing.
My first one, we've mentioned it a few times already, is Sneak Attack. That's just, as we talk about end game and finishers, Sneak Attack is one that just flies right in. Yesterday or the day before, I did Sneak Attack with a Ninth Sister to take somebody down from like 13 back down to 8, and it ended up the whole pod. 3 of us split for first, which is pretty rad. So that created a cool memory. Another one in the same vein is Infiltrator Skill, just for 1 resource, giving something +1/+1 Saboteur in red. It's just where you want to be. And then there's a story behind this one, but Vermilion from, I believe that one's from Lawless Time. I'm a sucker for cheating things out. That was in my Piet Krennic yellow deck, and I was able to cheat out a Supremacy against my kids, and I was going to destroy them. And then my son to the right of me immediately claimed, and is like looking at my Supremacy and looking at me, looking at my Supremacy, looking at me. I was like, and I'm like, he has something. I have to convince the table to kill him. My other kids don't care. They want to dogpile Dad. He immediately, all right, readies resources, choose sides, gives me a TIE Fighter, takes my Supremacy. And it was a humbling moment as a father when your son hits you for 12 for a game. So yeah, Vermilion will always be in my heart as the card that led to my downfall, and it was great.
Yeah, in that same vein of choose sides, one of my new favorites is Double Cross.
Yeah.
Because it's a 6 cost command event where you can just switch and then just pay the credit difference and say, hey, I know I gave you something bad, but I gave you all these credits, so you cannot be mad at me because I played this. I can't believe nobody mentioned the greatest card in the game, Seasoned Fleet Admiral, because come on, guys.
It's amazing.
Just drop it and, get. And then actually, my new favorite is Elzar Man. Because he comes in at 6, and if you have a Force leader, you do have to have a Force leader, but he comes in ready, just like Cassian.
Yep.
And he's only cunning, so he fits in a lot of decks, and hits for 3, but you're also giving out up to, I think, 5 advantage tokens. So you at 6, you could play essentially 8 damage worth of ready to go, attack power. So
Really nice with the Grogu leader too, because you flip that out immediately and is Force, and then yeah, you're guaranteed to have a target. So
It's beautiful.
I'm starting to rethink my position on cunning.
All right. Hey, that'll do it for us, guys. Can you give it up for these guys? Thanks so much for coming. And just one more time, can we just announce for the rest of the convention center the greatest format for the greatest game in the world in 3, 1, 2, 3. Have a great day, guys.